We're going to talk about consumer journey. Consumer behavior is the study of the processes involved. That's when individuals or groups select, purchase, use, dispose of products, services, ideas, or experiences. And these are always to satisfy needs and desires. So let's take a little look at how that all works. I'm going to break it down here into processes, individuals, purchases, products and services, and satisfying needs. The old school way used to be that we would think about the funnel: awareness, consideration, purchase, and then advocacy. Part of the reason brands are on the rise can be attributed to the evolving role of the consumer. And when we look at the funnel and we look at this next item down below, we see there's a dramatic difference in the way that we conceptualize the idea of the consumer journey. Down below, we see a circular activity beginning over here at the initial set consideration. Some trigger causes things to happen, some interest point, and then they go through active evaluation. There's actually a moment of purchase, and this is where really a lot of the activity starts in the current day. Why is that all happening? It's because we are living in a very socially interactive world that has been put on steroids by things like social media and digital. So in the old school, sell the customer on product superiority was the call of the day, and their values are key, and they still are. Values are very important because at the end of the day, that's really what drives people, what they believe and what they do. But today we see a little different twist, and that is that we are guiding the customer through the purchasing journey. The marketer's role is to guide the customer through the purchasing journey from awareness to advocacy, and in brand, that is more important than ever. When we think about needs and wants, marketers think a basic biological motive is a need, and a way that we've learned to satisfy the need is what we want to call a want. People inherently have needs. Marketers motivate their wants. Think about these two kinds of needs. The utilitarian: I'm going to get my apartment moved and I need to rent me a truck. Or I'm going to my college reunion and I want to show off a little bit, so I'm going to get myself rent myself a Corvette. Any way you look at it, we're talking about two different kinds of motivations. Let's now look at the mind and the two fundamentally different ways of knowing that construct our mental life. Daniel Goleman invented this concept of emotional intelligence. He was one of the first ones to talk about it. And basically, it was this thought that we have a rational approach to things, which is the mode which we typically are conscious of. We're thoughtful, able to ponder, logical use of mind and so forth. And then there's the emotional one that's impulsive, powerful, and instantaneous sometimes. Which one do we actually spend more time in? Well, fact is, it's emotional. We make a lot of decisions emotionally. And this is important to marketers because we want to know exactly how that happens. Daniel Kahneman, an economist, brings up another great idea when it comes to understanding how consumers work, and that is the plot of Fast and Slow. In his book, Thinking Fast and Slow, he identified two systems that are active when we are awake. System one continuously generates suggestion. It's the fast one. It's that emotional side, if you will. We are influenced by impressions down to intuitions and intentions and feelings. And what happens is that we screen this sometimes through system two, the slow system. The slow system may catch some impulsive action and slow it down and say, let me process that. Unfortunately, we don't like to process, so it doesn't happen. But the way this actually occurs from that system one moving so quickly is it moves on impressions, intuitions, intentions, and feelings, and turns those into beliefs if we actually square with all those things. And as a result, we end up with voluntary actions. And those two things become the drivers of behavior. When all goes smoothly, which is most of the time, system two adopts system one suggestions with little or no modification. That's our snapshot of the consumer journey. Let's move on with the next step on brand.